Hey, this is Corey from Woodcraft, and today is going to be the day I shoot my first video on my brand new camera. I'm very excited about it, but before we get into the details of my new camera, I want to show you the camera that has gotten me through over 100 YouTube videos. This camera has features on it I didn't even know I needed until I had them. Now this camera, I love it. It's gotten me to where I am now, and it's made me purchase a camera that has all the features I'm looking for, and it taught me how to use it, right? And so this is the Canon T5i. This is what I started YouTube with. I wanted to start my YouTube channel with a good camera, and this is what I ended up with because it's very reasonably priced. It's not the most expensive camera, but it's not the cheapest camera either. You can find it on sale though. If you go on Amazon, you can find it used or refurbished for even cheaper yet. And so this camera here is a refurbished T5i, and it came brand new. I couldn't tell. There was no scratches, no scuffs. No, it looked brand new when I got it, and it's performed amazing. Now the things on this camera that I really enjoy is the back screen here. You can rotate it so that it's regular. It's also a touch screen, so you can touch all the options. It also has a red screen so that it doesn't interfere with your night adjusted vision. You can change it to other colors too, but it's a touch screen, so I can come in here and I can touch what I need to touch, and I can adjust what I need to adjust, and it's just a really nice handy camera. You know, the other thing that I really like about this screen is it tilts out to the side so that I can frame my shot, so that when I'm making videos, like, I can see what's in frame, what's not in frame. My new camera had to have it. This is one thing that I don't think I could live without. And so right now I can put this in the middle of the camera and I can look in the screen and I know that it's there. I know that it's in frame because I can see it in the screen, and I really have fallen in love with this feature here. Another thing that this has is the modes that you can set it to. This is a beginner DSLR, and so it has all the automatic modes that you would find in a point and shoot camera, right? It has the close-up and the landscape and the portrait and the sports, and it has all those features just like a point and shoot. So you can set it to those automatic modes and you can get very high quality shots. But it also has the manual modes so that you can adjust the aperture and ISO and your shutter speed. You can manually take control of this camera, and it was the ability to use this camera in automatic modes so that I could learn what Canon sets their image quality to, and then I could put it in manual mode and I could adjust those settings. So instead of the image being a Canon image, it was my own image. It had my depth of field, it had my color configuration, it became my own, right? I wasn't using what Canon thought the image should look like. I was creating an image that I wanted to create. And it's because of this camera I was able to learn how to do that a lot faster because I had these automatic modes. And so that has really made the difference in how I purchased my next camera. This thing had features and it taught me what I need to know so that when I bought this camera, I knew what I wanted and exactly what I was willing to spend to get it. Another thing that this camera has is it has an external microphone port So you can hook up a microphone. So you guys know I use the Video Mic Go, and I have a lavalier mic. So I can hook up different microphones and put them in here so that I'm not using the built-in microphone, because the built-in microphones aren't very good, right? Having an external microphone is going to give you a lot better audio, and it's going to sound a lot better than the built-in, and this has the port so that you can plug in different options. And so this was a very good starter camera for YouTube. Another thing that I like about it is it takes these SD cards, just takes these little SD cards. It doesn't take, there's like these big cards that you can get for cameras, but it just takes your standard memory card like you'd put in a regular point and shoot camera. Nothing fancy, and I really love this camera. The only things about it though is it has 9 autofocus points, and they're spread out. And so if you watch some of my videos, you'll see it kind of hunting for something to focus on, because I'll be moving or talking with my hands, and I'll fall in between the focus points, so it'll try to find something else to focus on. So the autofocus on this camera isn't the best. What I ended up doing is just living with it hunting, and if I really didn't want that in my video, I would disable the autofocus. I would just put it in, I would autofocus the shot, switch it over to manual focus, and then I just leave it there and do my shot that way. That way it wasn't trying to focus on something that it shouldn't be. And so, yes, this is a very, very good starter DSLR. If you want to get into it, this is a very good starter, and it'll help teach you what you want to upgrade to, which is what I'm very excited about. I want to show you guys what I upgraded to. I'm absolutely in love with this camera. I hope you guys have liked the image so far, because we're going to switch back to the T5i. So let's get it. Alright. So you could see that autofocus. You could see that blur. And I don't know if it's tracking me now. It's probably going to work perfect now because I got a new camera. And this new camera is the Canon 80D. I love this thing. I absolutely love this camera. This is the first video that I've done with this camera, but I've done a lot of test video and photos with it already. And it's amazing. It really is amazing. Now, this camera had to come with the touch screen, just like my T5i, and it had to come off the side so that I could frame my shots while I'm looking at it, so that I can keep everything in frame, right? And I can just look over and see. You'll probably see my eyes going over there in all my videos. That's why. It's because I'm staring at this to make sure I'm not goofing up. Another thing that this thing has is the modes. It does not have the automatic modes that the T5i had. It doesn't have the sports mode, it doesn't have the portrait mode. It has the manual modes. It has automatic, and the rest are manual. And so you have to know how to adjust your aperture, your ISO, your shutter speed, your white balance. All that has to be done in the camera. You have to set it. It does have automatic features. It does have automatic white balance and automatic ISO, like the T5i, so you don't have to jump all the way in, but you do have to learn how to use manual modes to use this camera. But lucky for me, I had the T5i with the automatic modes that made learning manual that much easier. Another feature that I really like about this camera is it has the external microphone jack, but it also has an external headphone jack. So I can plug headphones into this so that I can listen to my videos back. I can hear back what I recorded through my headphones. So this is an awesome feature, and they're designed up out of the way so that when you're rotating the screen, it doesn't get in the way. So let's see if I can get this to focus. And so see how it misses those jacks? That is awesome. And so there's a lot of thought that went into this camera. It also takes the same size memory cards as the T5i, so I didn't have to adjust memory cards. It takes the same size lenses, so I didn't have to adjust lenses. The thing with this camera is the T5i has 9 autofocus points. This has 45 autofocus points. And so where in the T5i I would catch myself in between those points and it would hunt and try to find me. This I usually have like 4 or 5 or up to 9 autofocus points on me at one time, and so it can smoothly transition between the 45. And so this is going to autofocus, it's going to keep me in focus. It's not going to do that hunting or that tracking to find something to focus on. It's always going to keep me in focus. I'm super excited. This is really going to step up my video making in a huge way, because my videos are going to be the T5i shoots in 30 frames per second or 25 frames per second. So if you're out of the States, you can have it shooting for 25 frames per second at 1080p high definition. Same with the 30 frames per second, 1080p high definition. Well, the Canon 80D can shoot at all of those at 1080p, but it can also shoot at 60 frames per second at 1080p. So I'm doubling my frame rate. So if I want to do some buttery smooth shots, or I want to do slow motion, I can do that very easily with this camera, and it's going to look really good, really nice. And so it's opening a lot of opportunities for me. So I'm very excited. It has features that like has a screen on top, so I can check my ISO and my white balance and all my quick features I can check up here, so that it's not taking up my screen. Another thing is, while I'm recording, I can choose if I want it to, like right now, I see it the way the camera sees it. So I can choose this to view that same way, or I can tilt it a little bit and it'll flip everything around so that I see it the way you guys see it. And so I can, when I'm pointing at the top left corner, it's your guys' top left corner and not my top left corner. And so it's just those little details that's going to make this camera outperform that one, and it's going to bring my video quality to that next level. Another thing that I'm super excited about is it's weather sealed. So unlike the T5i, where I have to really be concerned about the rain and concerned about condensation and stuff, I don't have to worry about that so much with this camera. It's not waterproof. I don't want to get it soaking wet, but it is weatherproof. It can handle condensation. It can handle a little moisture. It can handle being out in the elements, and it's not gonna die on me. It should be able to handle whatever I throw at it, as long as I treat it like a camera and not mud boots, right? So let's jump back into the 80D so you can see the audio difference and the visual difference, and we'll close this video up. So let's do that. Alright, so as you can see, the autofocus on this camera is much, much better. Another thing that I forgot to mention is I can also completely control the camera from my phone. And so I can set up shots, I can change my ISO so I can go completely dark on you guys, just completely dark, pretend it's nighttime, bring it back to where it was, and I'm able to make those adjustments right here from my phone. And so that is another huge thing for me, because I do a lot of, I set up my tent, I set up tarps and hammocks, and being able to stand where I want to stand to set up my shot instead of setting it up, trying to look at the little viewfinder, see if I'm completely in frame. No more. I just look at my phone, I set up the shot exactly how I want it to look with me standing in it, and I come back and I do everything else, and that's huge. I can even press record and stop from my phone. It's all controlled through the phone, and that is amazing. I love that feature. I do suggest, if you are looking for a DSLR and you've never owned one before, not to jump right into the 80D. I do suggest taking that time to learn on something like a T5i with the automatic modes, so that you can familiar yourself with ISO, aperture, f-stops, the shutter speed. This will work. I like how easy it is to toggle between photograph and video mode on the T5i as well, because on is for photos and video, that little video icon is for videos. So you just put it where you want it and you start shooting. And so I do suggest to learn on something like the T5i and not to jump right in to the Canon 80D. But do let me know in that comment section what you shoot on. Is it your phone? Is it a little point and shoot? Is it a DSLR? Is it a Canon? Is it a Nikon? Is it a Panasonic? Is it a Sony? What are you capturing your special moments with? Make sure to leave that knowledge and any questions in that comment section. Then make sure to like and share this video to help spread that knowledge and those ideas to the people we care about most. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I have a new video every Sunday and Thursday, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.